is T-minus 1 day since I finished Measure of a Man, a very long Dramani fanfiction, and I am not okay. I will not recover. It will be on my mind for a really, really long time for many different reasons, but primarily because I see so much of myself in Hermione, and as a result, Draco in this fic is exactly the type of man I want, but he doesn't exist. It's a beautiful fic about the power of connection, and that change is fucking scary and really hard. In this fic, Hermione is a healer. She used to work for the Ministry, but she basically had a permanent sabbatical because it was just too stressful. So now she dedicates her time to really tricky patients to heal. Her next patient is Narcissa Malfoy. Basically has like the wizard's version of dementia. By the time Hermione meets Narcissa, Draco has been a widow for about 6 months. He has a kid called Scorpius. His wife was Astoria Greengrass. Malfoy works at the Ministry even though he doesn't really need a job. He basically doesn't know how to be a father. He doesn't know how to be around his kid because Narcissa looks after a lot of that, as per their traditional pureblood ideals. So when Hermione kind of enters their lives, all of their lives completely change over a very, very long period of time. It's short in the fic, but as a reader, it's a long period of time. But my favourite part was just reading the author's notes and being like, guys, just wait, it actually hasn't been that long for them. In a word, I would describe this as stunning. I looked forward to when I could go home and sit and read this and dedicate time and energy and focus into it. This is a far more mature story. The characters are in their 30s and they're tackling lots of kind of adult problems you have as you kind of enter a next stage in your life. I loved so many aspects of this fic. So obviously I loved the relationship that formed between Hermione and Draco. He knew what he wanted from a very early point in this fic. He saw and recognised Hermione needed time. She needed time to acclimatise and he... Especially because they had the addition of his son, Scorpius, who is the most adorable human being in the entire world. A big part of this fic is Scorpius has basically gone non-verbal after the death of his mother. And so it's really beautiful seeing this connection that he has with Hermione and seeing him grow alongside everything else happening and changing in this fic. I loved the friendships in this. I loved the importance of placing yourself first and kind of truly understanding to a deep level what you want out of life and what you want out of a partner and how that will kind of evolve. Is a far more in-depth examination of what love and relationships mean, and I think it's just such a privilege to have read this. The writer of this fic, In a Days 22, blessed us with this beautiful story. I could have read another 200,000 words. Does clock in, I think, at just under 600,000 words. I didn't want it to end. I wanted it to keep going, and I would have happily just kept reading. I cannot stress enough how slow this fic is, but that is the beauty of it, because that's life. Life can be slow. Change does not happen overnight, and I'm so happy I read this fic. This fic really reminded me of the joy in the act of reading and the kind of process of engaging yourself in a story, and I'm very grateful for that as well.